So, have you ever been so thoroughly disrespected at a family wedding that you spent 6 months plotting the most diabolical revenge? Because that's exactly what happened to me. And in 8 days, I'm about to serve my sister-in-law the coldest dish of payback she's ever tasted. Buckle up, because this story is about to get messy. Okay, let me paint you a picture. Picture-perfect family wedding, right? My brother's getting married to this woman who, let's just call her Princess Perfect, because that's literally how she acted. And look, I get it. Your wedding day is supposed to be your day. I'm not a monster, but this woman took Bridezilla to a whole new stratosphere. So here's how it started. Princess Perfect had very specific expectations for this wedding. And when I say specific, I mean she sent us a color-coded Excel spreadsheet. Yes, an actual spreadsheet, detailing exactly what colors everyone in the family needed to wear. Not suggestions, requirements. We're talking down to the shade of blue for the men's ties and the exact heel height for the women's shoes. And you know what? We all played along, because that's what you do for family, right? People flew in from 3 different states. My cousin Sarah literally drove 8 hours with a newborn baby. My elderly Aunt Margaret, who hasn't left her house for anything other than doctor's appointments in 2 years, made the trip. Everyone made an effort to make Princess Perfect feel celebrated. But here's where things started going sideways. The day before the wedding, literally 24 hours before she's supposed to be walking down the aisle in wedded bliss, this woman decides to drop some absolute bombs during the rehearsal dinner. She's making these little offhanded comments, but they're clearly pointed, like surgical strike level pointed. She says, and I quote, "Well, I mean, your side of the family never really takes anything seriously. So I wasn't really expecting you guys to take this seriously either. But hey, at least you showed up. Excuse me? What now? Did she just insult our entire family tree while we're literally sitting there in her requested colors, having traveled hundreds of miles with gifts in hand, ready to celebrate her special day?" The comments made their rounds through the family faster than gossip at a church potluck. Feelings were hurt. My mom was trying not to cry. My dad was doing that thing where he gets really quiet and you know he's about 10 seconds away from saying something that cannot be unsaid. My sweet Aunt Margaret actually asked my cousin if she should just go home. But you know what we did? Because we're decent human beings? We sucked it up. We showed up the next day looking absolutely stunning. And I'm not being modest here. We looked good. We participated in every single tradition, smiled for every photo, and gave that woman the wedding celebration she demanded. Now here's where the story takes a turn from mildly annoying sister-in-law to I am about to become the queen of petty revenge. Fast forward a few weeks. The wedding photos and video are ready. I'm actually excited because, despite all the pre-wedding drama, it really was a beautiful day, and I'm thinking maybe we can all move past the weirdness and just be a happy family. I check social media, ready to see all these gorgeous photos of the celebration. And there are 0 photos of our side of the family. Not one. I'm scrolling through albums thinking maybe I missed them. Maybe they're in a different album. Maybe there's a technical glitch. Nope. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Then comes the 3-minute wedding highlight reel. You know, the kind that makes everyone cry happy tears and gets shared a million times. I'm watching it with my family, and we're all waiting to see ourselves. And waiting, and waiting. There's a 3-second clip, 3 seconds, of my parents with the bride and groom. That's it. The rest of us? It's like we were never even there. Like we were wedding ghosts who somehow managed to eat the food and take up space without actually existing. And sitting there thinking, okay, maybe this is an oversight. Maybe the photographer just focused more on her side because there were more of them. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt because I'm not a psychopath. So I text her, and I was so cordial about it, you guys. I literally crafted this message like I was writing to the Queen of England. I said something like, "Hey, the wedding photos are gorgeous. Could you possibly send me the pictures of just us siblings? I didn't see any posted and I'd love to have them for our family album." Her response? "We never took those pictures. We never took those pictures." I'm sorry, what? I have vivid memories of helping people adjust their corsages for those exact photos. I remember my brother telling jokes to make everyone laugh for the camera. I remember Princess Perfect herself directing where everyone should stand. But apparently, according to her, these photos exist in some alternate dimension that only I can access. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe she's overwhelmed. Maybe she forgot. Maybe the photographer organized things differently than she remembers. I wait 6 months, 6 months, giving her time to get settled into married life, and I asked again. Her response this time, I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea what I'm talking about? Like I've just invented an entire photography session in my head? Like I'm suffering from some very specific form of amnesia that only affects wedding photo memories? That's when it hit me. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't an oversight. This was intentional. She had systematically erased our entire side of the family from her wedding narrative. We were good enough to follow her dress code, good enough to bring expensive gifts, good enough to fill the pews and make the wedding look well attended. But we weren't good enough to be part of her fairy tale story. And that, my friends, is when I decided it was time for some good old-fashioned petty justice. So here I am, 6 months later, and guess what? I'm getting married, and I've been planning something absolutely diabolical. See, I hired an amazing photographer and videographer for my wedding. Top-tier professionals who really know their craft. But here's the thing. My videographer has been given a very special, very secret mission. On my wedding day, I want Princess Perfect to feel like she's the star of the show. I want that camera following her around like she's the main character in her own personal movie. Every time she turns around, boom, there's the videographer, capturing her every move, her every expression, her every perfectly coordinated outfit choice. She's going to feel so seen, so important, so documented. And then, when the final wedding video is edited, she won't appear for even 1 second, just like she made sure we didn't appear in hers. Oh, but it gets better. Because originally, I didn't even invite her. I mean, why would I? After the gaslighting and the photo situation, I was perfectly happy to have a Princess Perfect free wedding celebration. But then word got out that I was getting married, probably through my brother, and she corners me at a family dinner. Corners me. Like I'm some kind of fugitive trying to escape wedding invitation justice. She says, unfortunately, I have to work the day before and after your wedding. But I should still be able to make it to the actual ceremony. Unfortunately, I have to work. Like she's doing me some kind of favor by gracing my wedding with her presence? Like I should be grateful that she's willing to squeeze my wedding into her incredibly busy schedule of whatever it is she does. I was so stunned by the audacity that I just stood there like a deer in headlights and said, that's fine. The Airbnb is booked whether you're there or not. Which, by the way, is probably the most passive-aggressive thing I've ever said in my life, and I'm kind of proud of it. So now she's coming to my wedding. Ugh, but you know what I did to cope with this unwanted development? I spelled her name wrong on the wedding invitation. On purpose. If her name is Jessica, the invitation says Jessica. If it's Amanda, it says Ananda. Just slightly wrong enough that she'll notice, but not wrong enough that I can't claim it was an honest mistake if anyone calls me out. That was my first move. The video blackout is going to be my masterpiece. And before anyone comes for me in the comments saying this is too mean or I should be the bigger person. Nope, not today. This is exactly fair. She set the rules when she erased us from her wedding. I'm just playing by the same rule book. I'm not asking for advice. I'm not asking if I should reconsider. I've had 6 months to think about this, and I am committed to this course of action. Okay, so I have to give you guys an update because the wedding happened and oh my God, it was even better than I imagined. First of all, my wedding was absolutely beautiful. Like fairy tale perfect. And you know what? I didn't have to think about Princess Perfect or her drama for even 1 second during the actual ceremony. I was too busy living in this incredible love bubble with my new spouse, surrounded by people who actually care about us and want to celebrate us. But here's where it gets good. I had given my videographer very specific verbal instructions beforehand. I made sure they knew exactly who my sister-in-law was, pointed her out during the rehearsal, described what she'd be wearing, the whole 9 yards. And our videographer, absolute professional. They played their part perfectly. Every time I glanced over during the reception, there they were, hovering near Princess Perfect with the camera, making her feel like she was the star of her own personal documentary. She was loving it. Posing for every shot, making sure her hair looked perfect, giving her best angles. She probably thought she was going to be featured prominently in our wedding video. Well, the sneak peek clips started coming back from our videographer this week, and I have yet to see Princess Perfect in even one frame of footage. Our videographer told us they have over 200 gigabytes of raw footage, so she's definitely somewhere on a hard drive in someone's computer. But she will absolutely not be making it into any of our Instagram highlights, our wedding video, or anything that sees the light of day. It's perfect. It's exactly the justice I was hoping for. You know, when I started this whole revenge plot, I thought it was going to be about getting even, about making her feel the same disappointment and hurt that she put our family through. But honestly, the best part wasn't the revenge. The best part was having my perfect wedding day, surrounded by people who genuinely love and support us, without any of the drama or negativity that she brought to her own wedding. She can keep her perfectly curated wedding photos where our family doesn't exist. Because we have something better. We have the actual memories of celebrating together, supporting each other, and showing up for the people we love. Plus, now I have the most epic petty revenge story of all time. And honestly, that's kind of priceless. So what do you think? Was I justified in my petty revenge, or did I go too far? Have you ever had to deal with a family member who tried to erase you from important moments? And more importantly, what would you have done in my situation? Let me know in the comments below, because I am dying to hear your thoughts on this whole situation. And if you enjoyed this absolutely unhinged tale of wedding drama and revenge, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications, because trust me, I have more stories where this came from. Thanks for coming on this petty revenge journey with me, and I'll see you in the next video.